start narrowcasting instead of broadcasting. Instead of saying it's all a forest, I want to say who's got the best right now in this market, even no matter how bad this market may be. There's some place in this market that's still got to buy.
Right.
They got a need, they got a pain, they got a problem, they got a solution they need that I can go find a way to meet, and I'm going to act now to identify what are those maybe 3 to thrive to start out with. What are 3 areas? So, you know, in the real estate example, clearly going back, what you did is you start out with saying, God, these people in apartments need to get a house. That's a new time buyer. These people that are moving, they're going to move no matter what. They're going to have to buy a house. Why not go to them? They have a have to reason.
Yes.
They have to buy a home. All I want to do is add value. So you figure those 3 to thrive. Then chunk this, if I'm saying as the next step, into, you know, the gathering, or I want to use the right words here, what do you call the first stage again?
Yeah, the before unit.
The before unit, the during unit, and the after unit. And let's chunk those into steps where you're adding value, where it's easy to say yes, where the cookie tray is in front of you, where I don't have to ask you to do a bunch. It's easy for me to vote, yeah, I'll go there. And basically you get small commitments in large, a little step at a time. So you move people gradually, hopefully, a significant segment. They've already raised their hand and said, I'm interested. You're not cold calling on them. You're moving them down line from that before into the during where you're adding value. When you're adding the value, you're thinking about, what is it that I'm going to do for this person that's not only going to meet their deepest needs, but what am I going to do to blow them away? What am I going to do to make them a raving fan? What am I going to do to make them family?
Right.
In the after, and you're looking at those steps.
Yes.
In the after unit, you're saying, okay, the job has just begun. It took so much time, energy, and money to get these people. These are the strongest clients I have. I have equity in relationship. If they trust me, if they like me, if they know me, different order, know me, trust me, like me. Yeah. If I got that relationship, I need to realize that that's the greatest equity I have. Why should I be starting over? I want a 20% return on those relationships. Right? Get you on something? I'm trying to gather it all here in a summary, right? So I want to make sure that those people are going to either buy from me again at least once every 5 years, or they're going to refer somebody on average. I want a 20% return, and that's going to scale my business while I continue to get new customers. Right? Yeah. Then if I've done all these pieces and I keep on running this and I'm focused on those 3 chunks of my business instead of my business as a whole, and I really now want to goose that marketing, really, I got a couple choices. I can find a place with greater pain. What are some of the ways that right now I could goose the marketing? I could say, I'm going to take what I'm doing, I'm going to find that opportunity. How do I look for that opportunity if I own a business? And better yet, simultaneously, parallel, I'm looking for an opportunity. I'd like to have free time.
Yes.
I'd like to, not have a bunch of deadlines. I'd like to be able to work with a level of freedom that I can create something and then get an ongoing reward passively when I'm not working.
Right.
I want to be able to only work with people I like that don't whine. Let's say I accept a lot of your criteria. What the heck do I do right now? We're about to finish this interview. Tell me.
Part of it is if you can find a market that has some momentum with it, some built-in momentum. It's kind of like walking on a moving sidewalk. You get on and it's kind of like there's already some momentum going there. So there's 3 basic types of markets that have that kind of built-in momentum with them. So if you can find a market with pain and urgency built in.
Okay.
Like if we talked about Stop Your Divorce, talked about the idea of helping somebody in a situation where up until the moment that their partner says, I want a divorce, they had no need or idea that they needed that service or that book or that product.
But when that happens, they know they need it.
Absolutely. And immediately it jumps to the top of their to-do list. So you've got that pain and the urgency of it's the only thing that I'm focused on right now. So if you can, provide a valuable solution for pain that has some urgency attached to it. There's
relationships are an area of that. The body's an area of that potentially. Health would be an area of that. There's so many different areas.
It's something where it's triggered by an event, something that's common. Right. Another one might be, I call it dimes for dollars, where doing things that are training people to make more money, where they're going to spend or invest a little bit of money with an expectation that they're going to make more money with this technology or this information or this tool.
So you find something you can do to add value that they know for a small amount, I can make a large amount.
Yes.
And now, again, I have urgency.
Yes.
And I have a sense of that this could solve a major pain in my life, because financial pain is another pain that people have.
Right.
Okay.
And the third would be an irrationally passionate audience. an audience of people who are irrational in their passion for something. Everybody's got something that they're passionate about. It could be golf, could be their pet, could be their grandkids,
Yes.
could be any, that they'll move mountains or do anything to indulge that passion that they have.
Yes.
And it's a joyful experience for people when you're indulging a passion. Those three, there are probably, there's infinite number of different businesses that would fit into that category, different
brilliant.
markets. you know?
Brilliant. So instead of just picking a business, you pick a business that has momentum. You don't let, most relationships, most intimate relationships, if you want to know why they're started, it's an interesting thing. It's proximity.
Is that right?
It's
Yeah,
number
that
one
makes sense.
piece.
That makes sense.
There's chemistry,
Yeah.
but before you get chemistry, there's proximity. Now today you can have proximity through technology to some extent.
Yeah.
But if you look at relationships, relationships happen because people got in proximity. They started going to the same school. They started working in the same environment. They had similar friends. Today it can be done by the way of the internet. You can create that proximity in that technological way. But proximity, then there's chemistry, and then there's consistency. And when you look at a lot of people, there's been a lot of studies that have been done on relationships where they ask people, how'd you guys become friends? We have so much in common. But when they do the actual research, you don't have much in common in values. But you think you do because you're in proximity with each other. You start to make this shift psychologically.
wow.
So the reason I say that is most people's business picks them by proximity. They knew somebody that was in that business. They were brought up in an environment that was similar to that. Their family members told them this was a great business to be in. They had a friend in that business. They didn't stop out and say, what are my criteria? And then let me go to a place that's got natural momentum where I got the chance to have people vote with their feet quicker. I love your 3 criteria that are here. Now, let's say we've identified one of those. And let's say you figured out there's an angle that you can go do research on, or there's some education you can provide, or an insight, or some tools. How do people make money today? I mean, you've made millions and millions and millions of dollars, and you've trained your clients to do the same. They've done, most of them have done it through education. They've done it on the web. What would be the steps that somebody would go through?
Well, I think you've hit it on there. Education is part of it. Like your information is the key. That really is an opportunity where you've got a unique approach to something. You've got a unique solution to that problem, or you've got a proven system to generate a result. As it all starts with doing it one time. With being able to.
Would it be your grandkids, like you said, or would it be making more money, or any of these categories?
Yeah. And so being able to solve that problem, or you have create a great experience for one person one time, and then it's about expanding it out from there.
Yes. So if we're going to arrange a webinar with each of the people that we interview, so we'll have one with you as well on maybe some of the specifics about how they can go about that. But virtually my entire career has been finding a problem, usually one I had initially, that I had to figure out how to solve. And my attitude was, you know what, this is so painful, this is so difficult, but one of the things that got me through is that I can figure this out, I can help millions of other people do the same. And so, but today with technology, I've had to build huge businesses with giant overheads, and they take a heck of a lot of management. But today we're in a world now where you can deliver those things at a level that costs you almost nothing to develop once you've come up with a way to do it, and a way to deliver it where anybody can take advantage of it 24/7, that whole freedom scale you talked about.
Yeah.
What makes you go at this point? What really drives you at this stage of your life? I'm curious. You've done incredibly well. You have this incredible lifestyle.
Right.
What really makes you go?
I get joy out of solving problems, and it's almost like what we talked about. The metaphor of being an artist with a trust fund is, an artist, you still like to do what it is you do. I still love applying marketing to different businesses, or figuring out a new technique, or adapting. You've seen what's happened, all the new technology that's come on. I mean, we're seeing all the social media now. I know you're on Twitter and all these things. It's all the new stuff. There's so much fun that you can have applying all
Those
these
are eureka
things,
moments.
Yeah, exactly. That's what continues to drive me.
And from the perspective of legacy, how would you like to be remembered as a man? I'm curious.
Well, I think when I look at this, I'm happy that I've been able to build relationships with people and make a difference in their lives, to be able to provide a solution for them. I know countless real estate agents who've come from that cold calling model, and introducing somebody to, not only introducing them to the concept of direct response, but having already figured out how to get listings or how to find buyers, and giving them a solution that they basically just turn the key and it goes. It's like such a freeing experience for so many of them, and that is really rewarding.
So you've gone from just freeing yourself to freeing others as well.
Yeah.
Well, I've really enjoyed this.
I have
I hope
too.
the people
Thank
here
you.
watching have, and I enjoyed having a chance to take in your lifestyle. And honestly, I'm going to go take a look myself and just say, okay, what's my current criteria? Because you have your criteria at one stage of your life, and then momentum takes you in a certain direction. So I'm going to go do the update myself in that area. And I hope that people watching here will say, okay, I get what I need to do. I got to get clear about what's the lifestyle I want. And start with a lifestyle, not with a business.
Right.
Because otherwise the business will take your lifestyle. If I'm already in a business, maybe it's time to me figure out what I want my lifestyle to be and see how to adjust that business, or get a partner, or sell that business, or start over with something new. I mean, we're in a world today where people have to make decisions, and they got to make them actively to be able to take advantage of things. And then take a look and say, okay, what are these direct marketing approaches? And really become, we call this, marketing mastery. Yes. We're going to introduce people to so many different approaches, but I think one of the beautiful things about what you've done is you've given one of the toughest markets right now. You've given the example several times of real estate, and shown that there are people that are doing unbelievably well right now. Yeah. So whatever people are thinking they can't do, maybe it's just about educating themselves and immersing themselves, and hopefully this won't be the only interview they see, and I hope many people will seek you out, will do this webinar and get a chance to take advantage of your services. Awesome. And really take their life to the next level. I've really enjoyed it, and I hope the promise out of this interview more than anything else will be, you can do it with integrity, which you have. I mean, you get when the first few minutes of meeting you, I knew from the people that I know that, you're authentic, you're real, you're sincere, you are about adding value. You don't have to be some scammer in the corners taking advantage of people. You can do really good things for really good people and have great pride in what you do and make a lot of money and have freedom. That's what I hope people take out of this interview.